This weekend, it is the FA Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea. Two teams with a great tradition in the competition, two teams with a lot of African history, and of course, there will be some African players involved in Saturday's final. Colin, are we expecting another fantastic African chapter in this historic tournament?
Well, it would appear to be when you look at Arsenal's lineup of African players and also Chelsea's list of players of African origin, even though, to be fair, Chelsea don't really have any player who is African, as in representing an African country. But we'd have to go all the way back in history, as far back as 1953, to see the first appearance of an African-born player in the FA Cup final. Since then, we've had a number of Africans, including what we might call the greatest of them all, Didier Drogba, who has 4 titles to his Arsenal, as well as Nwankwo Kanu, who has 3, Bruce Grobbelaar, who has 3, and then, of course, there's Mikel Obi and John Utaka, who also have FA Cup winners' medals, and Daniel Mokachi as well. So, yeah, we've had a very, very storied African history in the FA Cup, and I think it's just going to continue.
Of course, you're referring to Bill Perry of Blackpool back in 1953. Also, Albert Johansson of Leeds United in 1965, which I think even that was before your time. And of course, Nigeria have had a really excellent history in this competition, the likes of Mikel, the likes of Kanu, as you say, but also Celestine Babayaro, Sonny Aluko played in the final. How important do you think this game will be to a Nigerian audience? And also Chelsea and Arsenal, two teams with a very strong Nigerian past themselves. Who do you think fans will be siding with on this weekend?
Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a push and pull situation, because on the one hand, you've got Bukayo Saka that most Nigerians want and hope will decide to play for the Super Eagles. On the other hand, you've got Chelsea, who have Tammy Abraham and Fikayo Tomori, two players who have snubbed bids from Nigeria to get them to don the green, white, green. So in some ways, you'd be thinking, okay, Nigerians will be looking at Abraham and Tomori and saying, look, we don't care about you. And then they'll look at Arsenal and see Bukayo Saka and hope that he wins. And then after that win, he decides that he wants to don the green, white, green jersey. So, and again, let's not also forget that Arsenal have a huge following in Nigeria. So you've got to look at that and think that maybe, just maybe, the slight focus or the slight favorites for the Nigeria fans would be Arsenal as opposed to Chelsea.
One of the fascinating subplots about this final is the fact that it's two rookie managers, neither of whom have won silverware at their current employers, both of whom are going to go for that first gong. And the early evidence from Mikel Arteta's reign is that he will be leaning pretty heavily on African players for this new look, this new energy, this dynamic young Arsenal side. How important do you think it would be for the likes of Saka, for the likes of Nicolas Pepe, a new arrival from Lille last summer, and also for Eddie Nketiah to win silverware this early into their Arsenal careers?
Oh, it would be amazing for both sides. Look, in fairness, when you look at both sides, they're made up of fairly young players, whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Chelsea, apart from Giroud and a few others. Otherwise, I mean, the spine of both teams are youngsters. And yeah, I do agree with you. For the likes of Pepe, Saka, and Nketiah, it will be, humongous for them, to walk out on those hallowed Wembley grounds and come away with a winner's medal. And, to be honest, the same thing would apply to Chelsea as well, because, like I said, they've also got, a good crop of young players, and coming away with a winner's medal would be amazing accomplishment for them and for their rookie managers, who would boast, almost like they're in transitional seasons where not much was expected, and then one of them is going to come away with a trophy. So that should be very, very encouraging for them.
For me, I'm particularly excited to see how Pepe performs in this match. He came to England with great fanfare after scoring 22 goals, 11 assists last season for Lille. And I think the jury is out a little bit on whether this first season has been a success. Obviously, that transfer fee was always weighing against him. And we have seen an improvement under Arteta. We've seen moments of excellence. But do you think he needs a really big performance in this final just to cap off the year and demonstrate that he has been a success at the Gunners?
Oh yeah, certainly. Not that I think it will help much, because over the course of the season, he's not, showed that he's worth the price tag, unfortunately, and a lot of Arsenal fans agree with me. So he needs a really big performance in the cup final, and maybe that would go some way to having at least, I mean, let's say he scores a couple of goals or a hat trick and wins them the FA Cup. Maybe it goes some way to forgiving what has happened, what has gone on during the course of the season, but not the whole way. He would need to show more consistency next season to get there. But I think that yes, he does need a big game here to get past all of that.
All eyes will, of course, be on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, not just at the final, but also over the coming weeks and months, as the question of his future and whether he remains at the Emirates Stadium will doubtless be discussed again, will doubtless be a pressing topic. He scored twice at the weekend, the final round of games in the Premier League, but he, of course, missed out on the Golden Boot that he won last season. He said he wants silverware. There's no illusion about this. He wants to win something. He missed out in the Europa League final. I wonder if the FA Cup final this weekend could maybe sway him one way or another as to whether he remains in North London beyond this summer.
Oh, trust me, I think we should see a huge performance from Aubameyang in the FA Cup final. He's hungry for trophies, and this is a chance for him to get one. I'm not sure, whether he's going to be at Arsenal next season. I know Man United are looking out for him. They've sent out feelers, I think, from what I hear. It's possible that he might do Van Persie, and move to Man United. But I still think that while he's an Arsenal player, he needs to show up. He's the captain of the team. He needs to lead, and I think he will lead. And I can see him putting up a big performance against Chelsea.
And finally, if you're Aubameyang and you're looking around this dressing room, you're looking back over the last few months under Arteta, are you seeing enough green shoots of encouragement to suggest to you that silverware might be in your future at the Emirates Stadium?
Arsenal are a long way away from Liverpool, a long way from Manchester City, just slightly behind maybe Chelsea and Manchester United. So, trophies on the horizon, maybe. But if I were Aubameyang, at this point, I would say wait and see how the transfer window goes. If Arsenal bring in a few more quality signings during the transfer window, then yes, it might be a chance to stay and compete for something. But if they don't, then maybe it's time for him to look elsewhere for silverware.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.